Imagine being amongst the towering metropolis of Coruscant and witnessing a daring robbery taking place. Star Wars Jedi Survivor's intro is just amazing. The previous game, Jedi Fallen Order, had the protagonist, Cal Kestis, escaping the evil Darth Vader and his minions. But now he's a part of the Rebel Alliance and is hot on the trail of his latest mission, retrieving a target hidden on a corrupt senator's luxury spaceship. For the next 90 minutes, you'll be on the edge of your seat as Cal chases the yacht through the tangled labyrinth of Coruscant, taking down stormtroopers and doing incredible stunts on the city's complex architecture. It's got the perfect Star Wars experience coupled with top-notch gaming mechanics and stunning visuals, but is it worth it? That's what we're here to find out. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons for more awesome reviews like this. When we hear that Respawn was following up on the amazing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, we were ready to be disappointed. I mean, how do you top perfection? But then I found myself playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor for hours on end, and it was quite a journey. It was like surviving a rough and tumble ride through the galaxy, but you know what? We learned to love it. We learned to embrace the new and improved combat options, the massive open maps that felt like they stretched out to infinity and beyond, and the dizzying array of abilities that made us feel like true Jedi Masters. And let's talk about the collectibles. They were almost everywhere. It was like a scavenger hunt in space, and we were loving every minute of it. But here's the thing, if you're worried about starting with Survivor before playing Fallen Order, don't be. Respawn's got your back. They've given Cal all the powers and upgrades he earned in the previous game, so there's no need to go through the annoying process of relearning how to do everything. Sure, you'll have to earn back some of your healing items and bar extensions, but that's a small price to pay for a seamless transition. And let's be real, nothing captures the feeling of being a Force user quite like this game. So what was the motivation behind this one? Is it just another cash grab? Does it do justice to the franchise? Well, let's put it this way, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is like Batman Arkham City to the Fallen Order's Arkham Asylum. It's bigger, bolder, and cooler than its predecessor, and just like what the Arkham games did for Batman, this game does the same for the Jedi. Moves and lightsabers. So we're off to a thrilling start with a brief caper on Imperial Coruscant that takes us back to a new hope before we make a heroic escape. You're straight away pushing those stormtroopers off ledges using the Force and stringing together some epic moves like wall running, climbing, swinging, and sliding down ramps. And that's just the start. Before you even leave Coruscant, the Spider-Man style grapple is introduced, but it only works on pre-designated points, and then you keep unlocking new stuff at a totally rewarding pace. When you unlock the mid-air dash ability to go with your double jump, you can travel crazy distances without touching the ground, switching directions twice to reach around corners. It's like you've got to rethink what's possible. Sure, Survivor didn't come up with the air dash, but Respawn takes it to a whole new level, flexing those Titanfall muscles. Moving around in the game is definitely satisfying, but the real star of the show are those lightsabers. Survivor amps up the already awesome dueling from Fallen Order with 5 different stances that are so brilliantly animated that they create the flashiest, fiercest melee battles that Star Wars has ever seen. Even if you aren't great at timing your strikes, parries, and dodges, the fights look spectacular and super smooth as you slice through enemies. But if you're good, it looks even cooler. Plus now, when you slice through stormtroopers and other humanoids, you can totally sever their limbs, not just droids and creatures, who get shredded to pieces, and it feels like you're super powerful during the kill animations. Fighting moves. We've been messing around with all sorts of lightsaber stances in this game, and I've gotta say, I've settled on the 2 new ones, the crossguard and the blaster. The crossguard is all about slow, heavy hits that knock your enemies to the ground like a bag of bricks. It's definitely got that Kylo Ren vibe to it. But the blaster stance is where it's at if you want to channel your inner Han Solo and shoot enemies down from a distance. And when it comes to those pesky flamethrower troopers or packs of animals that like to get up in your business, the blaster stance makes them light work. But here's the thing, once we unlocked the ability to throw my crossguard saber, it was like game over. We could take down just about any enemy from a distance with either stance, and parried with the new Force powers, it's like cutting through butter. Anyway, back to the game, the expanded set of Force powers is seriously impressive. You can pull in a whole group of enemies and then unleash a spinning slash to take them all down at once. It's like a beautiful, deadly dance. The combinations are endless, and it's so satisfying to watch your enemies crumble before you. All in all, this game really gives you a sense of power and control that's hard to come by in real life. But hey, we can dream, right? Now, you've got to choose wisely when it comes to stances in Jedi Fallen Order. Only 2 out of the 5 are allowed at a time, which is kind of frustrating, but it actually adds more personality to your playstyle. At meditation circles, you can switch them up, but in the beginning, skill points are scarce. Each stance has its own skill tree, so pick your poison carefully. By the end, you'll have clear favorites, no doubt. The question is, which 2 will you choose for your Cal? The story. By the time we made it halfway through the game, we had our top picks for fighting styles and no regrets, but it's not just about the combat. The story keeps you hooked by throwing you from one heart-pumping action scene to the next. Cal accidentally falls into a treasure hunt of sorts, which takes him on a journey through abandoned puzzle-filled chambers where he must use his brain, the Force, and an array of gadgets to solve the mysteries within, but don't worry, there's no rush to complete objectives. So taking a break to explore and complete side quests won't make you feel like you're shirking your duty to save the universe. It's an enjoyable adventure, but the story has a downside. The plot twists are so heavily hinted at that it's not a matter of if, but when they'll happen. The bad guys' identities are a secret, but they're so predictable that you can see them coming. But at least they're written and acted with depth. Not like some stale Sith Lord, they're complex characters with their own motivations and goals. And that makes it worth the ride. Friends and foes? Lots of fun new alien friends join you in Jedi Survivor, including a droid with a screw loose and a Scottish sea slug. Bode is the latest addition to your squad, a mercenary type who becomes a more interesting character as his backstory is revealed. Fighting alongside your allies is a blast, especially with Marin's Nightcrawler-like teleportation. They can't die, but they can distract enemies while you take them out. Your allies are also helpful in opening up new paths, and their banter adds to the game's charm. Now, new friends also mean new foes, and in Jedi Survivor we get a mix of Imperial troopers, security droids, raiders, and separatists battle droids to battle. Plus, there's no shortage of giant bugs and wampas. The game cleverly merges enemies from the original and prequel trilogies, taking place right between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Is it worth it? Though this game is visually stunning, it struggles with performance issues, such as frame rate drops and crashes. Even in performance mode, there are still occasional frame rate issues that can affect gameplay. Despite these issues, the game's challenging lightsaber-wielding bosses provide a thrilling experience that may require players to lower the difficulty. The fights in Survivor aren't exactly revolutionary, and the maps can be a bit confusing, but there are some cool features like being able to heal yourself by picking up a glowing light after a boss kills you. However, the difficulty level can be brutal at times. We lost count of how many times we got one hit killed by that Rancor. And while there's plenty to do beyond the main story, some of those side missions are seriously tough and not that interesting. Nonetheless, Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a fantastic sequel that improves upon everything its predecessor did right. With a skilled Jedi Knight, epic battles, and diverse worlds, it's a great adventure. The story is predictable but still enjoyable, and the returning cast is memorable. Despite some launch issues, it's a step up from the already great original. So what do you think? Could it complete the best Star Wars trilogy in 30 years? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.